Hey YouTube, welcome back. Today we are going to be discussing a rumour that seems to be circulating regarding certain building upgrades coming to New Horizons in 2022. Now, building upgrades are essentially building remodels that we've seen a lot of since the launch of New Horizons. For example, Nooks Cranny started within the Resident Services tent and has seen two upgrades from a small Nooks Cranny and bringing it to the larger Nooks Cranny building most of us currently have somewhere on the New Horizons island. Another example of this is of course the Resident Services itself, that began life as a tent and then was upgraded to the Resident Services building and plaza. But the most notable example is of course the museum remodels that we've also spoken about recently, that prior to the 2.0 update saw 3 upgrades including the tent, then the stage 1 museum, then the stage 2 museum building, not to mention the internal upgrades such as the roost being unlocked. So we're not unfamiliar with the concept of building upgrades, so there's no wonder that a rumour suggesting Nooks Cranny will see another upgrade is being circulated. Now, in case you haven't heard, many people are suggesting that the stairs that can be found inside Nooks Cranny hint that there is more to this building than meets the eye, and essentially hints that at some point in the future Nooks Cranny will see an upgrade that uses them. Personally, I love the idea, but I think they're really nothing more than just decoration rather than something that will be accessible in the future. However, with that said, there is plenty of other evidence that suggests Nooks Cranny will see an upgrade at some point. The most noteworthy is of course that one of the most credible data miners found code linked to an upgraded Nooks Cranny in a data mine close to launch, and this was uncovered in much the same way as the likes of Red in the Art Gallery, Brewster and even Farming and Vegetables were, so it's certainly credible. Anyway, if that doesn't convince you, there is something else that is screaming Nooks upgrade if you simply look at the model of Nooks Cranny itself. Now, we have mentioned this before, so this is mostly for the newcomers, but if you take a look at the first upgrade, which is a nice little store that has a massive fence around the outside, then when you finally upgrade to the second Nooks Cranny building, we have a slightly larger and taller store that still occupies the same amount of space. However, the interesting thing here is it's not making use of the whole plot, as the base is still larger than the store, which you could argue allows for even further upgrades. So this, together with what's been uncovered in data mines, truly suggests a Nooks upgrade is coming in the future, and we'll likely see a Nooks Cranny upgrade that makes use of the whole plot. And I do believe if it is upgraded, it will include an upstairs. Now, you could argue that that's a bit of a stretch, but we've actually seen this before with the museum that went from the museum tent to the stage 1 museum, then the final stage 2 museum, which as you can see reserved the plot size from the beginning and eventually upgraded to occupy the whole space. Not to mention there was a couple of months where the stage 2 museum wasn't even in the game. Now, Nooks Cranny expansions are almost iconic in the Animal Crossing universe, with every mainline game seeing up to 5 upgrades or so, with New Leaf seeing Nookling Junction, to TNT Mart, to Super TNT, to TIY, then to the TNT Emporium, which was absolutely massive, with other past titles offering much the same. And some of these upgrades would literally take months and months to unlock, so I don't think releasing a third Nooks Cranny upgrade in New Horizons this far into the life of the game would be that unreasonable actually. In fact, it would be super clever from Nintendo's part to encourage even more users to come back again. Plus, we've proven in previous videos that upgrades like this aren't considered major updates in terms of version numbers, so it's entirely possible and wouldn't even contradict what they've said about no further major updates. But what do you think about a potential Nooks upgrade? Does this theory carry any weight, or do you think Nintendo has finished adding content? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Of course, thank you so much to all the patrons and channel members for supporting this content, and until next time, have an amazing day, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.